Well, a lot of shit has gone on in the past few days and in the news, and of course, the big one over the weekend was the attempted assassination of former President Donald Trump in, I think it was Butler, Pennsylvania, in an outdoor rally. And the shooter, he was killed immediately, almost immediately, by either Secret Service or local police or both. And the irony about, and Trump apparently was nicked in the ear with the bullet. I mean, I've heard conspiracy stuff all over the place that it was glass from the teleprompter, but the teleprompters were intact. But, just an inch or two and he'd have been dead. So he was pretty scared and stuff, but at least that, and it was a tragedy for those who were wounded and the family of the man that was killed at the rally. But Trump's real lucky that he's even alive. But at least it took the attention off of Biden and all that attempted coup in the Democratic Party, allegedly, to get rid of him. And I already discussed that at length. And of course it didn't work. And when Trump got shot, Biden did call and express his sympathy. And he also called the widow of the man that died at the rally, but she wasn't mean about it. She just didn't take his call because she didn't think that's what her husband would have wanted, and so forth, because he was a devout Republican. Who the hell's a devout Republican or a devout Democrat? That's not a religion. But I guess if you're talking about Trump, it is kind of a religion in a way. But the killer, god damn it, now I already forgot his name. Oh, Crooks, Thomas Crooks. Thomas, I think Matthew Crooks or whatever. He was a lone nut. Apparently, reports had it that he was bullied. And he was, contrary to what people thought at first, that it was going to be some leftist, some quote-unquote Antifa type. If it was discovered that this kid, well, he was only 20, so we'll call him a kid, he was a registered Republican. And he had Trump signs on display at his house for a time. And his dad apparently was a libertarian, and so here he decided to take a pot shot at Trump. Who knows? Who knows why? It's still all being investigated. So your guess is as good as mine. But it's kind of a perverse way of expressing individualism when you try to knock off a political figure in the United States. And generally speaking, they have been lone nutters. Whether you're talking about Lee Harvey Oswald or even James Earl Ray with Martin Luther King, even though it was kind of a quasi-conspiracy. It was kind of a bounty deal there, but not a big organized thing. And then RFK, lone nut, and I'm talking recent, but you can go clear back to the beginning with Abraham Lincoln. But, George Wallace, lone nut, Arthur Bremer, and then you had Gerald Ford with Squeaky Fromm or Lynette Fromm and Sarah Jane Moore, who's 94 years old now, believe it or not. They were acted on their own. And then, of course, Reagan with John Hinckley, who was finally let out of mental health confinement and is making music. And now you got this guy who got his on Saturday, and they're all lone nutters. Nobody has any, you know, it's all individual, very individualistic. So anyway, so there was that, and then today was the big announcement that everybody was waiting with bated breath because it's a Republican convention where old Mitch McConnell, and I've talked about him in videos in the past, but he got booed when he was part of the Kentucky delegation, and he was announcing how they were going to vote for Trump, or for Trump to be nominated. And he got booed. Anyway, but anyway, old J.D. Vance got the pick, and he wrote a successful book a few years ago. It was a memoir. It was called Hillbilly Elegy, and people are going to start picking that apart and finding out what the iffy parts of it are. And he came up from nothing, and he ended up, I think it was Ohio, University of Ohio, or Ohio State University. He graduated, and then he went to Yale Law School, and then he knew which side his bread was buttered on when he went to California, I think it was, and he hooked up with old Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel should be an albatross on anybody else's neck, because he is the modern day version of Charles Koch, about as evil as it gets. This bastard doesn't even think women should have the right to vote. I'm talking about Thiel. And he absolutely despises democracy. This guy isn't much better. But he made a shit ton of money. And Elon Musk is another one that likes this guy, I think. But he was going to make monthly donations to Trump to the tune of something like $45 million. Can you imagine having that damn much money to throw away on something like that? But anyway, old J.D. Vance, I don't think he's going to be an asset at all, because to me he brings more attention to Project 2025. He's going to be scrutinized, we hope. He's going to be scrutinized. And his remarks about divorce, his remarks about women's rights, his idea about the sexual revolution, he's kind of channeling that crackpot I've talked about a little bit in the UK, Mary Harrington. You know, they act like they know everything about the sexual revolution, and they weren't even alive then. But he thinks, oh, it should go back to the 50s. But he wants to get rid of no-fault divorce. You know, marriage laws and all that stuff are state matters anyway. So this is big-time government overreach, federal government overreach. If they try to ban, first of all, try to ban abortion nationwide, which you know Trump's going to do via an edict if he gets in there, and no-fault divorce. So this guy has a lot of issues, and he called him America Hitler. He called Trump that back in 2016 and 2015, but now he's being a lapdog for Trump. But who he really is the lapdog for is Peter Thiel and their ilk. And boy, we better damn well not vote for this ticket. I mean, it's bad enough with it when it's Trump, but this guy is like half his age, and he's just waiting. He's just can't wait. I mean, he's only got what, 2 years in the, not even 2 years in the U.S. Senate, but he can't wait to short circuit his way or do an end run around it and be president. Oh my God, we can't have this. We can't have this at all, and it's a disaster for women. So, no, you have two choices here. You have Donald Trump and Vance, or you have Biden-Harris. That's your choice. Not Kennedy, not any other, not you writing your name in. These are the choices you have. It's going to be one or it's going to be the other. Are you going to have fascism or are you going to have democracy? Are you going to have insanity or are you going to have common sense and competence? That's your choice. So, anyway, it's going to be a rough bunch of shit. And we're going to see how the media treats this. Now they've kind of gotten distracted away from Biden's alleged cognitive issues, which he does not have. And so they're a little bit distracted, but we'll see how long that lasts. Anyway, that's all I have to say because my battery's starting to flash something furious. That's it.